Greetings and welcome to Thinking Green, the weekly show of the New London Green Party. My name is Ron Suresha, and currently I serve as the secretary for the New London Greens. Please check out our website at nlgreens.org, and you can friend us on your Facebook page. The show will be roughly in two 25-minute segments with a break in the middle for our community calendar. We're here today with a very special guest, Democratic candidate for Connecticut Senator, Merrick Alpert. Merrick grew up in Colchester, attended University of Connecticut and Trinity College in Connecticut, then Georgetown University Law Center. While in DC, he caught the political bug and started campaigning for Al Gore in 1988 and Clinton and Gore in the next presidential race. He served in the Army National Guard peacekeeping mission in Bosnia in 1998 and 99. Upon returning to Connecticut, he found success in the private sector with several small startup businesses. He's married and has 3 young children. He has written an excellent and moving autobiography, Morning Sun, which I recommend. And his campaign website is merrickforachange.com. Merrick, welcome to Thinking Green.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was very kind of you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
You bet.
First of all, let's talk about the race. How is your campaign going?
It's good. I'm running, as you know, a grassroots campaign. So each day for the last year sort of rolls out the same way. During the day, I talk with folks in the town committees and do various events. And then each night throughout the week is really going to do a Democratic Town Committee event somewhere in the state. So one night you'll be up in the Litchfield Hills, and the next night you'll be in Fairfield County, and the next night you'll be in the quiet corner in northeastern Connecticut. So a lot of driving, a lot of miles, and the best part of the day, other than being with my wife and kids, is being there with these folks in really what's a classic town hall setting. One of the most memorable events took place in eastern Connecticut at one of the town halls. It was a town hall built 100 and something years ago. And I went in and I looked up, and one of my favorite paintings in the whole world was there above the heads of the folks. It's it's freedom of speech, the classic Norman Rockwell painting of the New England Town Hall meeting. Mm-hmm. And I just walked in and I said to the people as I sat down, I said, we shouldn't sort of lose the magic of what goes on here. The fact that we decide these things through ballots and not through bullets, it's really consequential. And those moments are pretty magical moments when you sit and listen to folks convey to you what's important to them and you share your vision with them.
Mm-hmm. It gives you an opportunity to really connect with them.
It does, at a very personal level. I'm not a guy that's great with sound bites. I'm not a guy who's great. I'm not a career politician. I'm somebody who's going to sit and tell it to you straight. Now, some of the people are going to like what I say, and some may disagree with certain policy matters. For example, on the issue of Afghanistan, I strongly oppose the war. I think it just doesn't make sense. I don't think it's in our national security interest. I don't think it's in our economic interest. Well, when you go into a town hall meeting and you share that view, not everybody's going to agree with you. But by taking a clear view, my view is that that's your responsibility when you run for office, any office. You need to stand in front of folks, and you need to articulate what you believe in, and you need to explain why, and then you need to answer questions and listen to folks tell you what they think. If they'll tell you if they think your position is wrong, they'll tell you if you should modify your position, they'll tell you what they think the ramifications of your position are. That is the good part of democracy. When that goes on, you say to people, I'll stay here all night. Mm-hmm. This is great. The challenge, of course, is trying to get more people involved, which, as you know, is a challenge. Whether it's issues of the war or the economy or anything else, those are the challenges of how you get more people involved in this process, be they Democratic, be they Republican, be they from a third party, be they unaffiliated. The challenge is getting folks involved, especially young folks, because, as you know, many people are just disconnected and they're not particularly interested.
Mm-hmm. But this process sounds like it offers you an opportunity to take in, a lot of different opinions and perhaps to alter your positions and refine them as well.
It does. I mean, when you sit and listen to folks, you know, even before I ever ran, I think about visiting with folks, you know, some of whom are veterans in World War II, some in Korea, some in Vietnam, some who opposed the war in Vietnam and didn't go. People of all sorts. And when you look at your own life experience, for example, in the issue of military service, if I look at my life experience in the military, my experience in Bosnia, and then my experience of reading this stuff, of traveling the world, of talking with people who've been engaged in these conflicts, sometimes on both sides of these conflicts, and talking through this stuff hour after hour and listening and thinking about it, that to me is how you refine your positions. One of the things that really troubles me is the sort of simplicity of modern politics, because everything is geared toward TV. People will come out with this sort of focus group tested soundbite, and then they just keep repeating it like some weird talking Tina doll. Mm-hmm. It's like you pull the string and they say the same thing. And that's not how rational people engage the world. Rational people have flexibility in their thought process, and they don't oversimplify the world. And unfortunately, as you know, in modern American politics today, it can be a less than rational place at times.
Well,
sure.
the process at the same time that it, you know, refines your opinions, it seems to cut down on the, you know, on the vocabulary that you can use.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I'll speak to that directly. I think if you look at like me, when you're running a grassroots campaign, like me, when you've taken on the party establishment, first in Chris Dodd and then second in Richard Blumenthal, you have to recognize that those who are entrenched with power, those who have some benefit they derive from, and often just, you know, their ego gratification or what have you, but those people are going to do everything they can to silence the discussion. Right? So if you look, for example, Richard Blumenthal strongly supports the war in Afghanistan. He supports paying $5 billion a month, obviously understanding there are going to be more American casualties with that. He supports that war. And what people don't want, and people obviously have conveyed this to me, members of the sort of Democratic establishment in the state, what they don't want is an open discussion about this. What they don't want is me standing up there saying this war makes no sense. Yeah. And their logic is that they don't want Blumenthal to have to take, he's spoken in favor of the war, but
to back down.
That's right. Position. That's exactly right. And everything for these career politicians is about trying to stand out there in the middle of the road and take a very centrist position, because obviously their polling data tells them if they can just stand in the middle of the road, they can sort of maximize the votes from both sides.
Right.
You know, one of my favorite quotes in the whole world is a line from Dante's Inferno. Bobby Kennedy would quote this all the time. He'd say, you know, the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in times of moral crisis choose to maintain their neutrality. Meaning, hey man, if there's something important at issue, like war, you better take a position. Right? Standing out there trying to win an adult popularity contest when the body bags are getting shipped home and the billions of dollars of debt are piling up, that's disgraceful. And again, the war is one issue. I mean, you look at jobs in the economy, you look at health care, you look at, you know, everything, immigration, and you realize these politicians, they all sound like game show hosts. Mm-hmm. They stand up there and tell you what their pollsters and pundits have told them to tell you. And it's maddening. It's truly maddening when you have a discussion with these people. It's not a particularly substantive discussion, and that's why I'm a believer that the two-party system is not working right now. I'm a believer you need involvement from people who are independent. You need involvement from people from third parties. You need to try to draw people, new people, into the two parties that are out there. And if you don't do that, you're simply going to get more and more of the same. And in my view, it doesn't work. I mean, simply stated.